Hi, I'm J.C. Futrell, Director of Education here at Redline Contemporary Arts Center. When organizations started canceling live events in an effort to stop the spread of COVID-19, Redline quickly pivoted from hosting exhibitions and public talks to remote events with socially distant in-person community outreach. Although our programming changed its delivery, we did not change our commitment to our community. Our 48 hours of socially engaged art and conversation summit went virtual this year. We hosted our program on multiple platforms with help from our friends at We Are Denver and the Black Actors Guild. We hosted local and national speakers, musicians, grassroots organizations, and social justice warriors, all under the theme of Afrofuturism. Our Reach studio closed its doors, but started hosting Zoom calls and eventually began reconvening in City Park for gatherings we affectionately call Art in the Park. Each week we have a group of about 20 artists creating outdoors. ArtCore Mentoring continued its support for our students and families throughout the entire summer. We drop off art supplies and dinner courtesy of Sexy Pizza to a different family every week. Our program has reconvened virtually this October, and we are excited to continue to empower our students, artists, and educators. Epic Arts hosted its annual exhibition on our website, and we are extending the program into May of 2021. We have converted the Morris and Joyce Price Art Bank into a virtual wish list where schools will put in their requests for supplies. The pandemic has given us a renewed purpose. Whether it's Black Lives Matter, voter registration, or economic relief to individuals hit hardest by the virus, we are here, and we are Redline.
Hi, I'm J.C. Futrell, and welcome to Redline Contemporary Arts Center. Located in historic Five Points, Denver, Colorado, Redline Contemporary Arts Center fosters education and engagement between artists and communities to create positive social change. Founded in 2008, Redline was created to support emerging artists and provide creative opportunities for local residents. Redline serves as an incubator for a thriving group of resident artists through an in-depth 2-year residency program that includes free studio space, community engagement opportunities, and professional development. The organization also offers a range of programming that responds to the needs of the varied communities that live in the surrounding neighborhoods. Viewing art and arts education through a lens of social issues, the organization ensures equitable access to the arts for under-resourced populations by working to fulfill a vision of empowering everyone to create social change through art. Which leads us to Reach Studio. Reach Studio is an opportunity for socially engaged artists to collaborate, create, and share ideas in an inclusive community. It's a free art studio program where artists don't have a space to make work, maybe experiencing homelessness, or in transition, can come and create within a community that provides supplies and guidance. Our goals are simple: to provide an open studio for artists who need space and supplies to create. Obviously, the pandemic has had an effect on that, but we've been working hard to make sure that our artists are still supplied and still are supported. We create a safe, open, and collaborative community. We have instructive and non-instructive workshops. We have collaborations and relationships with Redline resident artists and community artists. We have a professional space to display artwork and sell artwork. And we have the opportunity to have our annual show each year, which leads me with great joy to introduce you to Reflecting on Our Virtual Voices.
Hi, my name is
This is our
Tiffany,
annual
Medina.
Reach exhibition, curated by Lattice Feliciano and Max Maddox. The past year has been filled with struggle, loss, and frustration. Our collective hearts have been pounding in unison to the rhythm of pain. But from all pain comes the desire for peace. Reach Studio has grown together through this pandemic and the global movement to end oppressive systems. We have fought to keep what so many have lost. Now is the time to reflect on the lessons learned from 2020. Artists participating in our 2021 exhibition will explore their emotions, political views, culture, and creative process through installed pieces and digital works. Our participating core artists include Carolyn Pooler, Leticia Tanguma, Risa Murray, Vanessa Constanti, Gonzo, Melody Efferson, Sharon Morrison, Sheikah Leslie, Juanin Young, Myra Nagy, and Tiffany Medina Thomas. We'd like to take this time to thank the following sponsors for their philanthropic support of Reach Studio. We'd like to thank the Sidney E. Frank Foundation, the Colorado Fund, Virginia W. Hill Foundation, and the Bank of America Charitable Foundation. Additionally, we would like to express our gratitude to Redline's leading annual fund contributors, the David and Laura Mirage Foundation, the Bonfils Stanton Foundation, the Hemera Foundation, and the citizens of the Scientific and Cultural Facilities District, or SCFD. And it is with my pleasure that I introduce to you our first artist of the evening. Please welcome Tiffany Medina Thomas.
I am an artist born and raised in Denver. I'm also a core artist with Reach Studios at Redline Contemporary Art Center. I hope you enjoy our exhibit reflecting our virtual voices for the year 2021. We are really excited about this show. As an artist, I like to express my creativity in different mediums. This year I have 3 pieces in the show, which include The Mesmerizing Box, Static, A Wall Between Us, and Noise. So there are 3 separate pieces. Also feel free to follow me on Insta at A Colorful Mind. Break it down for you. It's at _colorful_mind_. I'm also on Twitter at A Colorful_mind. So check it out. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you, Tiffany.
And we'd like to
start off with her first piece here,
The Mesmerizing
Box.
It's a mixed media
piece.
And I'll read the
artist statement here.
Signals,
messages,
and images
are what we receive.
But all these things are interpreted
in our own ways,
causing
self-destruction
or building hope. How do you see it? Let's move on to our next piece. This is Noise. It's also a mixed media piece. The artist statement reads as follows. This is a representation of the noise in 2020. The extreme hatred. To the trump of love, the screams to the silence among those that are united for the sake of the Black Lives Matter movement. It's touching on political parties and the extreme groups who support them. It's a reflection of chaos. This piece hits me especially hard, as this was a really difficult year for all of us. But a lot of these social justice movements that she's representing here are very personal to me. It's an excellent piece. Before we move on to the next piece, I'd like to introduce you to the artist behind it, Juanin Young. We've got an introductory piece that she will talk a little bit about herself and her artwork, and then I'll see you on the other side.
Hi, everybody. I'm Juanin here, a Reach Studio core artist, and I'm a proud one. I'm so excited to be a part of this Reflecting Our Virtual Voices exhibition. I love everything about Redline, and it's definitely my pleasure to be a part of this wonderful movement because Redline is a movement. I have two collections that I am releasing to the world today. One collection, or I'll say the first collection is Future Minds. And I'm so excited about Future Minds because this reflects our virtual voices with the thought and concept of evolution. It's so important for us to allow ourselves to evolve and to grow and to become our best mastermind. This art is reflecting how technology can actually help us to improve if we take it and make it ours. There are 5 different phases to this series. As you'll see, there's Future Mind number 1 to number 5. Each phase is a different evolution of the mind in a very creative and abstract way. I'm so excited for you to just dive in and see how it reflects your own personality and your own mind. The second collection that I am sharing and releasing to the world today is Respect. Respect your nature, respect yourself. There's a quote that it was all founded by and grounded by, and that's respect yourself and others will respect you too by Confucius. There are 5 different elements that I'm highlighting in this series: earth, water, air, fire, and space. And I reflect how it's important for us to respect each one of these elements of nature within ourselves. And it's so important to do, especially in this pandemic and with all the technology that's around, to stay grounded. So I've put this art on canvases, on leggings to work out while you're working from home, on journals so that you can actually write down your thoughts, write down your ideas, give yourself a break. There's so much in here. I'm so glad to share this with you all, and stay tuned for more. Bye.
Thank you. I'm blessed enough to have the artist here with me and her installation. I'd like to read through part of her artist statements here before we actually engage with her. And for those of you guys watching at home, if you'd like to ask questions, start putting them in the comments box right now. And on the other side, at the end of the evening, if we have some more time, you can engage with the artists live as we've got them in the building. Thank you so much. Respect and Future Mind, digital media. This collection series connects with the theme Virtual Voices by giving the experiencers multiple ways to feel seen, heard, and understood by experiencing meaningful art in a new and evolving way. Her installation gives the audience an opportunity to experience this art far beyond a building. You can continue to experience by wearing and surrounding yourselves with the message of respect through art. And Future Mind. As we learn to respect nature and ourselves, it is also necessary to respect technology. It's part of our societal progress and evolution. This series, an abstract implication of how beautiful our mind can transform when we choose to master technology and we master ourselves versus being ruled by it. And it's my pleasure to introduce Miss Juanin Young.
Hey, everybody.
Juanin, how are you doing today?
I'm great, JC. How are you?
I'm great. We made it. We're here.
Yay, I'm so happy. I'm so excited.
Well, share your excitement. I'm going to shut up now, and I want you to tell us about respect and the future mind.
Indeed, I will.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm so excited, you guys. I'm so excited. I have 2 collections here. This is Future Mind, and then we also have Respect. Respect is grounded by a quote that I found from Confucius. Respect yourself, and others will respect you too. I am so in tune with spirit and soul, and learning how to connect that with where we're at and how we surround ourselves every day, and that's nature. Our virtual voices goes far beyond just being at home behind a computer. In order to stay sane in this crazy pandemic, it is so important that we stay sane within ourselves and stay connected. The Respect series is embedded with 5 elements that I've chosen that come from what's all around us. That's earth, water, air, fire, and space. This respect series reminds you to respect your body as you respect the earth. Respect your emotions as you respect the water. Respect your expansion as you respect space. Respect your energy as you respect fire. And respect your expression just as you respect air. And this series has so much in it. There are canvas prints. I am modeling a print right now that you can wear to remember to respect yourself. Others will respect you, including the earth as you're in this pandemic. Now, we move on to Future Mind. Future Mind is grounded in my love for technology. Growing up, my father, he's such a tech person. I used to sit next to him and just watch him work on computers all day long. And that's back when the screens were green and black, okay? And I'm not old. And I fell in love with technology way back then. And I just can't get away from it now. I have a background in IT. I left my corporate America job to become an artist. And now I have embedded both of my loves together, technology and art. Future Mind reminds us to not let technology rule us. We are masterminds. So it's important that you respect your mind and respect how brilliant you are by taking a hold of technology. This tablet here is a part of that technology in this installation. When you come into Redline, you can see my installation, and go ahead and shop for any product that you want: canvases, leggings, sports bras. We have journals so you can actually write down your expressions, and so much more. And if you actually clicked that you were going in the invite, I promised you that I would have something special. I'm going to put a link for you, and actually I'll just tell you the code now. It is 35 today, 35 TODAY. Go to my website, and today only, you will get 35% off of any of my printed products. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to do this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Juanin.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing thing to watch you and your artist journey and to watch you blossom into where you are right now. I also want to shout out to the audience that Juanin is also running professional development workshops with our Reach Studio community artists. And it's just a pleasure to have you and to have you so involved in our community. So thank you.
Right on. It's my pleasure, JC.
Awesome. All right, let's move on to the next piece. Here we have Sharon Morrison. Sharon is one of the original members of our Reach Studio here at Redline Contemporary Arts Center. And she has done an amazing thing with this newest exhibition piece. She has taken her collage work and really taken it to the next level by also pairing up with her daughter to create a simultaneous piece. So we'll talk about that here in a second. But I'd love to show you some of the work here as you listen to the artist statement that I will read. When you visit Redline going through our website, clicking on the Visit tab, and setting your appointment to come in between now and February 27th, that's when our show comes down, you'll be able to visit this place in person and actually see all of this artwork in person. And there are literally dozens of these images that Sharon has created since the beginning of the pandemic here that are absolutely fantastic. And I think we actually sold a few today too, and we just opened. As you're looking at these pieces, I'm going to read Sharon's curatorial statement. I was born in Chicago, Illinois, and moved to Denver, Colorado in 1980. I have done art all of my life and became serious about becoming a professional artist since 2011. My influence comes from my family tree in New Orleans and directly from my father, who was an artist. I love experiencing the creativity of color and nature and inspiration from other artists. My style has changed as I am influenced. I am an intuitive artist, and I love to create what I'm feeling on any particular day. Our annual Reach Studio show, reflecting our virtual voices, gave me an idea on how we are processing the change that we are experiencing and the state that our country is in. As a woman, I look forward to the opportunity of dressing up and accessorizing when going out. We are in a state where it's suggested that we stay home to protect our health and the health of others. So the beautiful dress-up clothes, jewelry, hats, purses that we hold so dear sit and wait for a brighter day. My art represents the call of the personality of each outfit that we put together to step out into life. My artistic creations express such attitudes when let out of the closet to exemplify the inner virtual voices to be visible, to look lovely, refine, and in style. The importance of displaying the emotion and creative play in dress and costumes is needed in our society. It's the identity of who we are, how we express our identity, and the need to be versatile, and how we dress is unique to each individual. Art becomes the vehicle to express the love of these missed opportunities. Sharon Morrison. And now, we'd like to hear from her collaborating artist in this, Sheikah Leslie. And so we'll roll the tape with her pre-recorded interview. See you on the other side.
Hello, my name is Sheikah, and I'm working together with my mom, Sharon, also known as Sam. And we're working together in a sort of digital collaboration. She creates these really cool characters from paper images, and I take those and do a digital collage on top of it to kind of animate them and bring them to life. I have really enjoyed working with my mom. I don't believe we've ever really collaborated before, but this is awesome, and I can't wait to do it again.
Thank you, Sheikah. As we come back and view this animated piece, I'd like to read Sheikah's artist statement. Sharon, lifelong artist and teacher, and Sheikah, Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design art education student, rarely create together. However, they discovered that many of their works share a common theme and resemblance, like mother, like daughter. Collaging, visual journaling, and animations displayed on screen and projected on walls between other Reach artists' works portray the constant roller coaster of emotions stimulated by political unrest, racial injustice, corrupt leadership, pandemic panic, death, and self-discovery. This work is multifaceted self-reflection. And if we can cut to the digital portion of the video so you can get a greater detailed look at it, that'd be fantastic. Oh my God. And now let's move on through the rest of the exhibition. I'd like to introduce you to Melody Efferson. And I think we have a pre-recorded message from Melody, and we'll cut to that right now.
Hi, I'm Melody Efferson, and I created the installation piece, Get Loud, Vote America. This is a voting booth, and initially this was supposed to be hand in hand with voting registration events. Democracy is more fragile than we might expect. The speaking horn in the middle of the voting booth is surrounded by a transparent curtain, reminding us that voting is both a private act and a public one. The words on the curtain are a mashup of the most common words of the Declaration of Sentiments and the Declaration of Independence. When we stand in the voting booth, we look through the words of these documents and the work of previous generations at our neighbors, friends, and even strangers. Looking out, we are reminded that when we vote, we must not only consider our own best interests, but the interests of the least powerful. At the same time, it amplifies our individual voices. So, as you speak into the speaking horn, speak your truth, and more importantly, get loud, America, and vote. I wanted to tell you about how you can find me. I am on www.melodyefferson.com, EPPERSON, and I also have Instagram, melody.epperson, and Facebook, melody.epperson. So if you need to get in touch with me, please feel free to do so. I would love to have a conversation with you about all of this.
Thank you, Melody. Before I get into Melody's artist statement, I'd like to say a little something about Melody. Melody came to us through our 48 Hours of Socially Engaged Art and Conversation Summit last year, during a time when we obviously had to go digital. And she participated in our annual Reach Studio dinner, which had gone virtual. This dinner was actually hosted by one Miss Juanin Young, and we created a community digital mural, which was absolutely fantastic. That mural, that image, then got reprinted and put on tote bags and then sent out as thank yous during the Christmas holiday. And so Melody has been with us ever since. She has participated in Reach Studio and even met with us during the summer when we had what we called affectionately Art in the Park, which were art gatherings of our Reach Studio artists outside in City Park. So it's with my pleasure that I introduce this particular piece. This is Get Loud, Vote America. It is a mixed media sculpture, and I'll read you the artist statement now. Get Loud, Vote America is about the need for all citizens to vote. Democracy is more fragile than we might expect. The speaking horn in the middle and the voting booth is surrounded by a transparent curtain, reminding us that voting is both a private act and a public one. The words on the curtain are a mashup of the most common words in the Declaration of Independence and the Declaration of Sentiments. The speaking horn amplifies our individual voices, thoughts, views, and opinions. Voting provides a platform for speaking up about what matters to you, the voter. So, what matters to you? Guests at Redline are encouraged to speak your views into the horn, but even more, America, speak up and vote. Justice for Elijah McClain. Justice for George Floyd. Justice for Breonna Taylor. Justice, justice, justice. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce our next artist and his work. This gentleman is someone who is the lifeblood of not only the Reach Community Studio, but this building. There have been days when I have come in here and my spirits have been low, and this gentleman uplifts me. He greets everyone in this building with a smile, and before the pandemic, kind of like a hug and a fist bump, depending on who you were. He's a friend, he's an artist, and I'd like to introduce him to you now. My man Gonzo. Gonzo, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm so happy to be here this year. It's a miracle, really. I miss this place. I miss being able to bring people in and offer them an opportunity supplied by Redline. I mean, that's how I did it. I stumbled in here and I haven't left yet. It's great because I discovered one thing through this last year. I have something that nobody can take away from me, the act of creative ability. It's easier for me to create art than it is to write or talk or even use a phone. It says a lot more. My artist statement is short and profound. All art isn't pretty, and neither is the truth. We've seen an awful lot of truth this year, yet you remain to be blind, or yeah, something like that. Anyway, this is a culmination of some of my creative processes that I've discovered throughout the year. And it's like a journey, it's like a wandering out of darkness. I feel like I'm coming back alive. I'm not really living in fear or uncertainty anymore. My consistent pattern has wiped away the uncertainty. You know, consistency conquers uncertainty. This piece here only cost me $16, but it was great to make. I don't do art for the money. I do it for myself, and it was very therapeutic. I feel like we're almost at the end. We can get back what we took for granted a long time ago and can now enjoy our creative processes again and be free from the uncertainty that's been all around us for a while. That's about it, man. I'm not much of a speaker. I'm not running for president. I'm not,
Wish you would. We could use you. Can you tell us a little bit about your process? I mean, like one of the things that I've enjoyed over the past, 3+ years being here is watching your style like evolve and to become what it is. And I know it's still growing. Can you tell us about like the process behind creating this piece?
It all starts with sitting back and doing books. When the pandemic started, I went right home and started sitting in front of the TV, watching all the news of the pandemic, and then came the killing of George Floyd and the protests all over the country, just mass hysteria and creating uncertainty, which causes a lot of other issues in your life. I didn't really have the creative process that I used to go through a photocopy machine and create wallpaper and that. So everything on this is handmade.
Wow.
And so it's very therapeutic. I've even gotten to the point where I have the process of creating a piece and then cutting it up and creating another piece randomly. Wow. So I double up on therapy. But this is a piece that speaks for itself. It's a piece that I needed, and I want to help people just embellish their life with freedom and joy. A never-ending process that brings joy.
Wow. Thank you, brother. That's the
That's
mic
all I
drop.
got.
That's it. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. And if anyone is interested as well, there are some links inside of all of our social media to contact Redline. When you find our contact information, shoot us an email and get on our mailing list, we send out weekly announcements about what Reach Studio is and what we do, and we'd love to have you join us. We'd love to have you on a call with Gonzo and Juanin and Letty and everybody else here at Redline and our Redline family. And with that, let's move on to our next artist. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. And here we are with Vanessa Consanti, Radical Feminist. This is an acrylic piece. It's for sale. Radical Feminist was painted during the early days of COVID and the Black Lives Matter civil rights marches. The voices that spoke out against the Trump administration long predicted the terroristic threats perpetrated on the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021. But they were called radical at the time, and still are. Vanessa has shown her work in multiple galleries and has been approached by curators for her use of messaging and her creation. And it's been a pleasure to work with her and to see her growth too. Please look her up on our Instagram and also on Facebook too. Our next piece is another piece by Gonzo. It is a complementary piece to the last piece that we saw. Most of Gonzo's pieces don't have titles to them. They're either dated or they're numbered. This one is affectionately titled 02/03/21, February 3rd, 2021. This piece is also for sale. And now it is my pleasure to introduce to you virtually a recorded message from our next artist, Myra Nagy.
Hi, my name is Leticia Tanguma. People know me as Leti Taralina. And I'm a Chicana artist here in Denver, Colorado. I love painting a variety of things, abstract, murals, protest art. Right now I'm really loving to draw. And my artist statement goes something like this. To me, art isn't a person's glance, their smile, their cry, their grito, which is their shout. And it's between this candor and the universe that I try to find some kind of truth within the universe. Whether the truth is beautiful or ugly, my challenge is to create art that reflects that. And this could be art that talks about generations long ago or now or for future generations. And I am guided by love.
Thank you, Myra. And I'd like to read Myra's curatorial statement, and then we'll come back and take a look at both of her incredible pieces that she submitted for this exhibition. I'd like to take this time real quick to acknowledge our executive director, Luis Maturano, who's in the building right now. Why don't you come here and say hi real quick? Come here. I know you don't like being on camera, but I'm going to do this to you anyways. Yeah, because none of this happens without her. And everybody in here, you don't have to be quiet. Can we have a round of applause for our executive director? Yeah, without you, none of this happens. And like honestly, Redline has not skipped a beat during the global pandemic and all of these other horrible things that have happened to all of us. Within now, we're going on the anniversary of a year for most of us now. And I am honored to work with you, to work under you, around you, wherever it is, just in your general vicinity, with side by side. And where is that mic anyways? Letty, could we give Lou the mic real quick? I know, I did it to you. Yeah, because you always say, you never let me get the mic and they're talking about it. So now I'm making my point to do that right now. And honestly, I just wanted to say thank you and then give you the opportunity to also talk about what it's meant to still be able to provide so much support for people during these times.
Thank you, JC, and thank you, Emma, and Letty, and Gonzo, and Juanin. I have not missed a Reach Studio exhibition since I've been here, but I do have to give JC you so much props to bringing the wind of passion into the sails of all of the artists in this community, and it is just so exciting to see how this program continues to gain so much momentum with the love that you bring. Oh. And I think that is a love that Gonzo had when he first walked through 12 years ago, which is just so exciting. And so it is all mine to be grateful for and all mine to appreciate you and to work side by side with you. So thank you. And as far as not missing a beat, again, I feel like we're running in parallel towards passion that we have and we hold. So Thank you, sir. And thanks, I appreciate the moment to say thank you because I do give you hell about that all the time. It's only because I want to appreciate what you bring. So thank you.
Thanks, Lou. One more round of applause. Our executive director of Redline Contemporary Arts Center. Back to Myra's work. We have two pieces here. We have masked voice and enclosed connection, acrylic and mixed media. Both of these pieces are for sale. These pieces are showing the feeling of confinement during social distancing. It represents the space, use, and some views of our emotions. One piece will show myself separate from the space because of distancing and how my voice projects through masks. The second shows the limited space to stay connected virtually and creatively. There are only two pieces. She's used acrylic, yarn, glue, recycled material, and pipe cleaners. She's used basic picture hangers and no special installation to reflect back how she feels during isolation. And now, I would like to introduce our next virtual introduction from the next artist that we'll actually meet here in person. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play a short film or introductory video to Leticia Tanguma.
Hi, my name is Leticia Tanguma. People know me as Leti Tarlina. And I'm a Chicana artist here in Denver, Colorado. I love painting a variety of things, abstract, murals, protest art. Right now I'm really loving to draw. And my artist statement goes something like this. To me, art is in a person's glance, their smile, their cry, their grito, which is their shout. And it's between this candor and the universe that I try to find some kind of truth within the universe, whether the truth is beautiful or ugly. My challenge is to create art that reflects that. And this could be art that talks about generations long ago or now or for future generations. And I am guided by love.
Thank you, Letty. It's at this time that I'd like to introduce the piece that Letty has submitted. And before I read her artist statement and talk to you a little bit about this piece, during the summer, at the height of the George Floyd protests, Letty was part of a very special exhibition that we held in Civic Center Park in the midst of all of the protests. It was a project that we lovingly called Posters for Protesters. And Letty actually transported this multi-panel piece into Civic Center Park before a city council meeting. And this city council meeting had some serious implications as they were talking about police brutality and how people who are peacefully protesting should be engaged. And part of the ruling after that was that projectiles couldn't be used on peaceful protesters. Go figure, right? And so Letty's artwork is the embodiment of social justice work, and it has been an honor to know her. I'd like to introduce this piece in the Nuestras Manos, in our hands. Her artist statement reads as the following. To me, art isn't a person's glance, laughter, grito, or cry. Art is the interaction between this candor and the universe. When I create my art, my challenge is to reflect the truth, whether within beauty or darkness, or whether in present tensions or in the echoes of generations. I am guided by love. I want to give you the opportunity to talk about this piece, your work as a social justice activist and artist, and talk to us a little bit about what inspires you. So thank you for being here, Letty.
Okay, thank you so much, JC and Reach Studio and Louise and everybody for welcoming me back, and all the other artists. You all inspire me, and keeping art alive is just amazing because this is our voice. I did this mural right here. It's called En Nuestras Manos, in our hands, so that the voice of children who are being detained because of the Trump administration in cages to this day, and we're, please let's all be active in getting Biden to reunite families. And so, like you, I'm sure that you are touched by their voice and their cry. And so, as you could see, one of Trump's supporters trying to pull this woman, or has pulled this woman, and trying to pull her into death, into the hole of oblivion. And here's a child here. Instead of a crown of thorns, he has a crown of razor wires. These children are kept in prisons. And right here, this isn't just about the children of today. These, as we all know, if we really think about it, children have been separated by the U.S. for centuries now. The indigenous people, African people who were forced to this continent have been separated for our family, so it's a terrible legacy. And so these butterflies, which I'm hoping community could paint in beautiful details of hope, are coming from our ancestors with this woman who has been torn away from her child. On this side, she's reaching for her children who have been kept in cages. And this is the human bond of a mother and child. If you look closely, these roses represent, the Latino or indigenous culture. If you look closely, this is just kind of like an outline of North America, Central America, South America right here. This is our hand. This is your hand. What are we going to do to reach these children? Look at their faces. And on this side, you see more of the devastation that children feel as they're trapped in the cage that our own government, like the Holocaust, has put actual children in there. And as you could see, Trump is abducting a child. Their hands, their arms, their potential has been wounded by our own people. And so this is another of our hands. What are we going to do? And so that's up to us, and that's up to me and you to remember these children as we continue what we've learned in 2020, how so many people came together to stand against oppression, to stand against police brutality. A while ago, JC so eloquently shouted justice for Breonna Taylor, for everyone. I'm saying justice for the children also, justice. And so again, I want to thank you. If you want to look at some of my other artwork, I just made a website. It's called Artwork by Darlena at wixsite.com/mysite-1. And Darlena is my middle name, Darlina. And also, that mural that I did, that I shared with you guys, there's another mural I did that's specifically about police brutality and also about the missing Indigenous women in our own country. So thank you again, everybody.
Thank you, Letty. I really appreciate you and your work. Maybe we can take a step back and we can just pan around this piece one more time. And now I'd like to introduce a recorded statement from our next artist that we will be featuring. This next artist is also one of Reach Studios' original core artists, and also we would like to celebrate her as a recent graduate of Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design and magna cum laude, as a matter of fact. And so it is with great pleasure that I introduce my friend and an amazing artist, Miss Carolyn Pooler.
Hi, my name is Carolyn Pooler. My piece is titled Cristo Speaks. Rather than make something to be bought and sold this year, I decided to really reflect, to remember what we've lost.
Thank you, Carolyn. This piece, Fine Dining, Cristo Speaks. It's a soft sculpture and affectionately called Sound Bag. The void of color in this installation aims to provoke emotion and a sense of loss. Homage to the artist Cristo. Memories of his rapping style and unexpected elements of nature are brought into the gallery setting. The concept of absence is emphasized in Fine Dining. White stitched images of a missing place, setting on a plain, stark black fabric background. Cristo Speaks. The precarious soundbox offers a looped 10-second narrative against a disturbing organ soundtrack. Suspended above the box is wrapped with stitched text in Bulgarian reading. I am afraid to be in freedom. The installation asks, though, how we are removed and we remember. Christos speaks. It is my pleasure to introduce our final artist of this exhibition. Once again, I'd like to give a shout out to our curators, Lattice Feliciano and Max Maddox. Thank you so much for working with our artists. Thank you so much for helping us lay out the space here and giving our artists such an amazing platform for their work. Risa Murray, like Carolyn Pooler, is also a graduate of Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design, and we'd like to feature her work right now. I used to be your neighbor. This work represents isolation as a result of COVID. The isolation that we all may have felt at one time or another during this pandemic, and the need for human contact. It also asks the viewer a question. How have we treated our neighbors during this pandemic? And what have we done to help our fellow man? Risa also shared with us a video piece. The volume's turned down on it right now, but we invite you to come to Redline Contemporary Arts Center by signing up for an appointment through our web portal. When you're here, you can experience Brooke Greer's interview with Risa Murray, Pushing Past the Pain. And I'll read the curatorial statement here. Pushing Past the Pain is a video interview with Mum Ministries called Testimonial Tuesdays. The theme of this series is pushing past the pain. How God helped our family through the pain of an attempted suicide by my oldest son, Jonathan Murray, in 2017. The video is about 37 minutes long. Since this year's exhibition is about pain and loss that we've experienced in 2020, I thought this video would encourage others to hope again for those that are struggling with suicidal thoughts and look to God for help and strength. This work represents isolation as a result of COVID and the isolation that we all may have felt at one time or another during this pandemic and the need for human contact. It also asks the viewer a question. How have you treated our neighbors? And what have we done to help our fellow man? Pushing past the pain. Thank you so much for spending this hour with us here at Redline Contemporary Arts Center in our project space. Once again, I'd like to reiterate, if you'd like to come and see this show in person, first of all, hold on, Emma, come here real quick. Can you come and say hi? I'm sorry, I told you, I said I wouldn't make you speak, but everybody give Emma a round of applause. Thank you so much. Emma is our education manager, and she is amazing and runs our youth programs, and I want to say thank you once again for making this possible. You're amazing, so thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you to all the artists. I'm so glad that you were able to put up an exhibition this year.
Yes.
Last year was disappointing, and so, this feels like a new start.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Emma. Round of applause for Emma, please. Woo! Yes. Oh, are we going to pull Ryan Fu out? Everybody that doesn't know, Ryan Fu is behind the streaming right now. Ryan, come here and then take a bow real quick. Thank you so much. Ryan Fu, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. That's my guy. Really, I want to go through and give a shout out to all of our participating artists. Again, I want to give a shout out and give some round of applause for each name. Carolyn, Letty, Risa, Vanessa, Gonzo, Melody, Sharon, Sheikah, Juanin, Myra, and Tiffany. And shout out to all of our funders. Once again, there are way too many to name, but to name a few, we want to give a shout out to the Sidney E. Frank Foundation. We want to give a shout out to the Virginia W. Hill Foundation. We want to give a shout out to Bank of America. We want to give a shout out to the Deva and Laura Mirage Foundation, Bonfee Stanton, Hamera Foundation, and SCFD. Thank you so much. Please visit our website. Please visit our Facebook and our Instagram. Smash the subscribe button. Smash the like button. Leave a comment. You know who we are. And we'll catch you on the flip side. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. All right. All right. Woo! All right. That's